Capitol Hill and the White House are in crisis mode this morning. Why? Because the Epstein letter that was released yesterday tying Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein, a letter that the White House, Vice President Vance, and others had previously said never existed in the first place. Now the party line is, well, the signature on the letter, Donald Trump's alleged signature, was forged. And now Capitol Hill, Republicans in Congress, and the White House are in crisis mode, trying to spin this story that Donald Trump's signature was forged on a document sent to Jeffrey Epstein many years ago. Here's the thing. This wasn't surprising. The Wall Street Journal would not have published its article claiming that this letter existed if it didn't see the letter in the first place. And now the House Oversight Committee has released the letter publicly, among a number of other letters in this 50th birthday book. These letters are grotesque. These letters, some of the worst writing you'll see. And it really highlights how this isn't just about Donald Trump or one person. It highlights how this is about a scheme run by Jeffrey Epstein for many years that included many wealthy and powerful people, and how the truth needs to come out no matter who it is. Whether it's Democrats or Republicans or independents, ultimately the American people and the survivors of Epstein's horrific crimes deserve to know the truth about what's in the Epstein files. And this morning, Capitol Hill Republicans are saying that the signature on the Epstein birthday letter sent from Donald Trump to Epstein for this birthday book was forged. But as I made an analysis yesterday, it's pretty clear when you compare this signature on the birthday letter to a number of other signatures during that same time period that Donald Trump signed just his first name on. They're almost identical. They look like the same signature. And it's very difficult to claim that they are forged. Even handwriting analysis can be done on it to show that it's likely not a forgery. And that almost certainly will happen if the lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal by Donald Trump continues. Now, the lawyers for survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes have come out already and said that Donald Trump should drop the lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal because this is proof that Trump wrote this letter. But even taking a step back for a second and looking at this whole chaos from a 90,000-foot view, for this to be forged against Donald Trump in an effort to smear him today, essentially a forgery would have had to happen more than 15 years ago, because that's when this letter was sent, more than 15 years ago, well before Donald Trump ever ran for office, well before Donald Trump even considered running for president as a Republican. It would have had to be done years ago by someone who had some type of vendetta against Donald Trump. Now, some Republicans are claiming, well, this was a forgery done potentially even by the Biden White House. But the issue with that argument is that the Biden White House never had this document. The Department of Justice never had this document. The only party that had this document was Jeffrey Epstein's estate. And Jeffrey Epstein's estate only released this. Why? Because of a subpoena issued by the House Oversight Committee. Had this subpoena never been issued, the estate would have never released this document. So Biden didn't have it. Someone allegedly forged this 15 years ago to try to set Donald Trump up. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now, before I continue, I won't stop fighting for the truth no matter how much they want to silence me, especially on this issue. So please consider subscribing to support my work or sending a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas. We're going to get more information today about this document and whether or not what Donald Trump's reaction to it is. He's scheduled to speak this afternoon around 4 p.m. Caroline Levitt is scheduled to take questions from the podium around 1 p.m. We're going to get more information. And when we do get more information, you better believe that I will be the first to report it. Now, in other news, ICE has launched Operation Midnight Blitz in Chicago, targeting undocumented immigrants with criminal records, despite strong opposition from Mayor Brandon Johnson and Governor J.B. Pritzker. The Department of Homeland Security has blamed Illinois' sanctuary city policies, while critics called the move reckless, unconstitutional, and political theater. The operation was announced amid Mexican Independence Day celebrations, was named after a fatal DUI crash involving an undocumented individual. Donald Trump has floated using the National Guard, previously deployed in Los Angeles during raids that sparked protests. Senator Dick Durbin accused Trump of declaring war on an American city. Now, meanwhile, following yesterday's Supreme Court ruling, which advocates say is effectively legalized racial profiling, U.S. immigration officers are ramping up sweeps in Los Angeles, essentially targeting people by race, language, or job. Los Angeles Border Patrol Chief Greg Bovino called the order very poorly written and the worst he's ever seen. And advocates are saying that this is effectively legalized racial profiling, alarming immigrant communities where 1 in 3 residents are foreign-born. Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles and California Governor Gavin Newsom both condemned the decision, while Justice Sotomayor's dissent warned that it enables anyone targeting anyone who looks Latino, speaks Spanish, and works a low-wage job. The Trump administration hailed the ruling as a victory for its mass deportation campaign, with the Department of Homeland Security pledging to continue flooding the zone with immigration enforcement officers. This morning, Senate Republicans, led by Majority Leader John Thune, are moving to invoke a nuclear option to change Senate rules and confirm Donald Trump nominees in blocks rather than individuals, citing Democratic obstruction. The plan will start with a package of 48 nominees, including Kimberly Guilfoyle to be the next ambassador to Greece and Callista Gingrich, an ambassador to Switzerland. This would also apply to sub-cabinet posts, ambassadors, and other executive nominees, but not judges. Donald Trump's second state visit to the United Kingdom is scheduled for next week, between September 17th and the 19th. It will involve a major police operation with drones over Windsor. King Charles will host both Trump and Melania at Windsor Castle with a ceremonial welcome and a state banquet. Texas State Representative James Tallarico, a Democrat and a former teacher with a rising profile, launched his Senate campaign this morning to unseat Republican Senator John Cornyn. He will face Colin Allred, the nominee last cycle, in the primary. A Russian glide bomb strike on the village of Yarova in Donetsk killed at least 21 retirees waiting to collect pensions. President Zelensky denounced the attack as brutally savage, while his foreign minister called it a heinous crime demanding global action. The Murdoch family reached a deal giving Lachlan Murdoch control of the empire behind Fox News and the Wall Street Journal, ending a succession battle after Rupert Murdoch's death. In addition, Israel ordered the full evacuation of Gaza's 1 million residents as it prepares a major ground takeover, but the United Nations cautioned escalation would cause mass displacement and atrocities, while hundreds of thousands of Israelis protested the plan over risks to both the hostages currently in Gaza and soldiers. That's all the news right now. If you want to support my work, as always, subscribe today, spread the word, and I'll see you this evening with another report. It's going to be a busy day, folks, so giddy up. Hey, folks, Aaron Parnas here. Thank you so much for watching The Parnas Perspective. Please consider subscribing to support our work as we grow this independent news media entity into something that rivals mainstream every single day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.